be the most authentic version of yourself you can be, fully knowing you will likely be judged for that, right? Learn to not take things personal. When people show up in their power and who they really are, one of two things happens. You're either loved or you are not.
Someone asked, why are people so fake?
I can't speak to the perception of the general population, but I would say we struggle with how we show up around others. We're social creatures, and until we resolve and deal with ourselves, our deepest desire, I believe, is to be loved, to be seen, to be understood. And so people will go to great lengths to be seen or to be loved, and they want to be understood. Sometimes they do things that seem the exact opposite of that, but the underlying desire generally is to connect. As social creatures, we have a deep desire to connect, and some people's desire to connect is so strong that they are willing to present an ideal, or we could say fake or unreal version of themselves to the world, to others, in order to be in that moment liked, perceived as good, or whatever characteristic that they're going for. And that isn't who they really are. I would say that showing up in your ideal self or being fake or being unreal is exhausting, and over time, that works against the person more than for them. It's pretty exhausting to be anything other than who you truly are, and there's nothing more empowering than showing up in the most real, authentic version of yourself. And so I find even people that hang out in a very disconnected world between what I would call the identity gap, the ideal versus the real, that isn't to their benefit long term. And so if you are somebody who struggles with wanting to judge people that are fake or inauthentic, I would encourage you to show up in compassion and understanding and not judge that person, but seek to understand, why is this person choosing to show up this way? What are the holes they're trying to fill in their life? What is the fear that keeps them down this path? And then be the most authentic version of yourself you can be, fully knowing you will likely be judged for that, right? Learn to not take things personal. When people show up in their power and who they really are, one of two things happens. You're either loved or you are not. But show up as your most authentic self. Be the example you want to see in the world. If you enjoyed this video on relationships, you can check out more content like it in my playlist right here.